Hi, so I thought I would come out here and give some thoughts about some stuff I've been thinking about. So I think a lot of times people assume that, we are in control of, we are, fully in control of like who we are and identity and things like that. And I think there is something to that, but I think there's also this lesser talked about element of who we are, which goes beyond our capacity to understand, and it's not something that I think we consciously created in our with our present awareness. There's parts of us, all of us, that is genetic and that is created through experiences that we don't even remember having because we were so young. And there's so much that goes into, if you think about it, it's fascinating to think about how like there's so much that goes into like who we are, or what does that even mean, like who am I, who are you. I think people assume that, like, I've heard people say things like, let's say, you are the only one who can say who you are, and you know yourself better than anyone else. And that can be true to a certain extent, of course, but it's like, well, does a rose know it's a rose? You are more than what you assume that you are. And I'm not an expert in talking about these things, so I can just give my own slice of what I understand it to be, and it's difficult to articulate because I'm not an expert. But there's things about you that is beyond your own choices. So we're talking about human beings, like we're all human, and that is larger than me. It's not just that I'm the only human, and it's like, yes, there is an ego in me that allows me to have a certain sense of self in a certain conscious way that I can cling to sometimes, and we all can. But it's not like as the person that I am now, it's not that I consciously chose, okay, I'm going to be born now and I'm going to be this kind of person. There's something else that is at play that is difficult to understand. And I don't understand everything about this. I don't know everything about how we come to be and all this, but what I do know, or what I think I know, is that there's things that are beyond our comprehension. So I'm more than just my personality. I'm more than my preferences. I'm more than my ego and what my ego tells me that I am. There's actually something higher there. There's a higher thing about I'm so bad at wording this, but like there's a higher thing to like what we are. Like, I'm human, you're human, but it's not like I chose consciously to like be the entirety of what I am. There's things that have happened, and there's things that I've experienced in my, when I was a baby, when I was a child, and genetically, things that have come to be, that is beyond my comprehension now. So it's not that I chose the entirety of what I am, and that it's all in my hands as to what I am. I can take my potential and use it in whatever way I would like to use it, but there's still a higher thing about being human. It's not that it's just all in my control in terms of what I am on a higher level. It's like, maybe you could also say, maybe spiritually you could say, let's say our soul knows the higher, whatever what you want to call it, like how it came to be, or the things that are not just in our human body. Maybe there is a part of us that is, let's say, in touch with that still, but it's that throughout our whole lives we're trying to get back in touch with that part of us. And we're, I've learned this in the Enneagram as well. It's like we're trying to get somewhere by using our ego, by using our personality, our instincts, and we think that that's who we are. That I'm going to get this need met by using my personality, and that's who I am. This personality is who I am, but I'm actually more than what I think I am. There's something more going on that I don't necessarily consciously realize as I'm standing here. I was born, and I don't necessarily understand as this conscious ego filled person. I don't necessarily understand why that was, but there's a meaning and there's a logic to it that I'm not capable at this moment of understanding in its entirety while I'm in this body. And so when people say things like, you are the only person who, like, you are the only one who can say like what you are, and it's like you choose who you are and you are what you make yourself. You can only make a part of yourself. You can make the ego inspired part of yourself. You can make the identity you can make a conscious identity for yourself. You can dress a certain way, you can try to act a certain way, but the essence of you is something that is way beyond your own comprehension. I can guarantee that. Almost like it's like the essence of who you are. It's not that you chose this personality as the person that you are now. You didn't consciously sit down and choose this. It is something that comes from a variety of different things, like meanings, genetics, and what those genes are trying to give form to. So maybe there's a reason that you have to learn certain lessons or be a certain kind of person, and for that to happen you need to have certain kinds of genes. So that's what the universe, let's say, gives you. It's like you need a certain body and you need certain genes in order to have the experiences that you were, let's say, supposed to have. There's more to it than what we think, and it's not that we all just choose exactly the kind of people that we are on a conscious level. There's actually more to it. If you want more thoughts from me, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment if you have any thoughts about this. Thanks for watching.